Hey guys, welcome to Circle Back Podcast. My name's Hannah.
And I'm Adrienne.
All right, cool. So yeah, I'm excited today. I'm excited for this. I know to you guys, this is just one episode, but we do all of our episodes in one day. So I'm really excited for this wave of episodes of recordings today. It's going to be a really fun time. First, I have a guest here that I've known a while. And she birthed my husband right out of the canal.
Right out of the womb.
Right out of the womb.
Wow.
We have on Janie Cunningham.
Dun, dun, dun. Sounds so weird.
I know. I feel weird saying your full name.
I know.
How are you?
I'm good.
Are you nervous?
No.
No? Okay, good. Good. If you guys hear pitter patter, it's my dog. So yeah, thank you so much for coming. I'm very surprised that you reached out to be on the show.
Yeah. Anything to support you.
Well, okay, I do appreciate that's very kind, but
You don't have a story.
Yeah. But you're a little reserved sometimes.
Yeah.
But very extrovert at the same time.
Sometimes.
It's crazy.
A beautiful mystery.
Yeah, there's a lot of
levels.
Level. They're like an onion, you know.
Shrek,
Peel you.
yeah. I was just about to say.
But I usually when I'm out in public and they're like it happened at the courthouse, I had to go pay a seatbelt ticket the other day, and they're like, Overman or whatever. I'm right, and she's like, I know your mom, and I was like, no, you probably know my mother-in-law, and she's like, Janie, and I was like, yep.
Oh, who was this?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. She was a teacher at Rardy Lee at some point. Yeah. Anyway.
I know a lot of people.
You know a lot of people. It's so crazy. Okay, so when you reached out to me, I was excited because I know you have a heck of a story.
We all do.
Yeah, we all do. But I was excited because I don't know, to know you is to know Matthew, and to know Matthew is to know me in a sense,
yes.
you know? And my mom isn't
to know
here.
You is to know me.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
To know me. That's so special.
My mom's not here anymore.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I don't know. It's just like one day you wake up, you don't have a mom anymore. It's really weird. It's a weird,
I can't imagine.
It's a weird concept. And like, so, but I'm very blessed in the sense of having a mother-in-law that is like good. Like, there's so many stories out there that they don't get along, or there's a rift between families and things like that. And it's never been the case. So I really appreciate it. So come on, Janie. Turn your phone off. I'm just kidding.
My phone is off.
Really quickly before what's that?
Oh my gosh. How did I answer that? I don't know. So sorry there.
Is it John?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's fun.
It is.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom. He's only called me 3 times this morning.
Man. That was awesome.
Wow.
I was like,
that
what?
was weird.
At first I thought, I was like, oh, it was a cat.
neighbor.
I thought it was a cat meowing at first. And
I thought it was Adrienne giving me the...
the signal. Already this early. But before we, come on.
This is ridiculous.
How we do this? He really wants to talk to you. Do you want to talk to him? You want to take a break?
No.
Okay.
I've talked to him 3 times.
Oh, you've already talked to him.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But before we get diving into some things, I wanted to tell the story of 2 stories.
Tell me stories.
That always come to mind when I think of you and I.
Oh.
The first one being the night I came to your house.
I was thinking about that the other night.
And me and Matthew walked in, and you were on the couch. I remember so well. You were on the couch, and some other lady was there. I don't remember who it was.
Oh, I don't remember that part.
But anyway, some lady was there, and Matthew walks in, and I'm like, why am I meeting your mom? Like, this was first date, like, you know. And
you were very uncomfortable.
I was
this
very
was your first date?
Yeah.
Oh,
and Matthew brought me home.
Was it a date?
I didn't know it was.
Oh.
But now I guess it was.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Bad move.
And so Yeah, so I go in meeting you, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And then you yell out, you're like, what is this, Matthew, your new woman, or something like that.
Oh my gosh! You didn't. You were standing by the door. You wouldn't even come in.
No,
the house.
I didn't even come in the house.
No,
I was standing by the
you
door.
were like, oh,
because I didn't know if you were staying or where you're going.
I don't know.
And you said that, and I was like, I went silent. I was like,
I know.
and Matthew's like, sure is, and I was like, oh,
I am.
okay.
Yeah, you were like, I am.
Yeah, I said I am. Yeah, that was fun. And then Matthew went off to the military, and then you and I got to bond in a weird way of
it was
just
weird.
yeah, of just being
But it was
like
great.
It was really good. And so anyway, I just wanted to tell that story because I always think about it.
Me too. Me too. But it was just like, it was a great day.
Yeah, it was a good day. Yeah,
It was just very uncomfortable for you.
it was. I just didn't know what was happening.
Yeah, we
Right.
just have that kind of relationship though. Where we just talk about anything and just say
Yeah.
anything out, you know.
Well, I didn't mind that.
Yeah.
I just had no idea Matthew and I were going to be dating
Yeah.
at this point.
That would have
Well,
been nice to know, I think.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
I mean, he was nine
Very
days.
public, wasn't it?
Yeah, 9 days before you left from Dollarview. I was like, okay. So that's a fun story. The next story is a New Year's Eve story. No, yes.
Oh
New Year's-
my gosh.
Okay, so Matthew had come home from the army,
Yeah.
and for all you out there, I am not a drinker. Like I don't do well. I have drank, but it doesn't take much.
No,
Let me
you
just-
wear it very loudly.
Thank you. And so Matthew had come home from the army, and this was the first time I had drank.
Yeah.
Your son's a good influence.
Yeah, he is.
And I
He's the
had,
best.
and I think I was 19 at this point, so I was underage. And this first time, I mean, I didn't drink through high school. I didn't do any of that stuff. And then he came home, and I went to this party that there was probably enough alcohol there for like an army. Like it was insane.
I bet.
And I didn't know what was going on. You know, I'm just throwing it back and
Yeah.
throw 'em. I can't wait till Dad hears this. He won't care. And throwing it back and all this stuff. And then and then all I remember is my alarm going off at 6 a.m. And Matthew, all these people were just laying in the floor. And I was like, what have I done? And I woke up drunk. That's
No.
yeah. And so then
Hannah.
I said, Matthew, we gotta go to a wedding. It was her.
The wedding.
It
My
was her
brother's.
brother's wedding. Okay, and it was early in the morning.
Yeah.
And so we get there, and Janie instantly said, "You hungover?" I was like, "I'm still drunk."
Yeah.
Joke's on you. I'm not hungover. I'm drunk.
Yeah.
They literally were hanging on each other, trying to be smooth about it, but it was all over them.
Yeah.
Don't be suspicious. Don't
Yeah.
be.
Which is so funny because like, when I got home, I was like, my mom is. I mean, I went
I remember
straight to the shower, and I was like, "Come on, Hannah, get it together." And then I was like, if I can just get out of the house, because then I was like, no offense, but I was like, I'm not gonna worry about Matthew's mom.
Yeah.
Like, but my mom will kill me. Like 19 years will go down the drain. And so, which I told her this story before she died, not like on her deathbed. Like,
Well,
but, yeah,
That was
but
good.
but she knew it, and she didn't really care. But yeah, I just remember that because you always were like, you guys did not.
No. No.
I thought I was so smooth. I was like,
You weren't.
no one knows. I'm good to go. And Matthew's just like,
Yes, that
smiling.
was mad.
Like, and then I walk in.
And that's how you know something's wrong.
Yeah.
He's too happy.
Yeah. I walked
Yep.
into this wedding. Okay.
I can't believe you went to the wedding.
We sure did.
He
Okay.
did. They did.
Yeah.
And sit
went,
on the back row. But she literally was clinging to Matthew.
Okay, first of all, I
like-
didn't know anyone. Okay.
Oh, that's fair.
And
That's
second of all, your girl
Yeah.
was still trying to recover.
She was.
But yeah, since then,
parent.
I mean, I've never had. I don't think I've ever. Maybe one other time where I've been like that. But yeah, not a drinker over here.
Yeah. Me neither.
I've tried.
I've never been drunk.
Yeah, I know.
Never.
Me neither. Mm-hmm. Oh, Janie.
I've tried. Like I've tried to be a. I'm like, I'm gonna do this.
I tried to be a wine drinker.
Me too.
Tastes like vinegar.
yeah, it's not good.
No.
Like you want to be like that cool person that's like, in the tub.
I'll have a
Afternoon.
wine. I'll have a.
Yeah.
I want to
Wanna be
unwind a little
cool.
bit with the wine.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
None of it tastes good.
No, it's all terrible.
It is. Cheap,
All terrible.
expensive.
Expensive.
Nasty.
Yeah. It's really bad. Okay. That was fun. Fun story time.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for having
Give us a
me.
little intro.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming on the show.
I'm that mom.
Yeah. No. You're not.
I
that
approve
mom.
my children
Here's
drinking
the thing.
and going to a wedding.
No, here's the thing. We were adults.
Yes.
Yeah, Matthew was of age. And,
He was,
I mean,
he was.
you just loved me
And
where I was.
knew what y'all were doing.
Yeah, well, you knew we were safe. You know. The only other time something like that happened, we lived on that house.
Yes, you did. I cleaned the mess up.
Oh,
I know exactly what
no.
to
Yeah. Well, before you ever came, before like the party even started, we were married.
Yes, you
but
were.
Before the party and everything started, my dad came over, and we had moved all of our furniture to have this giant table for beer. And I was like, "Hey, Dad, not much is going on."
Your dad's cool.
Yeah.
though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was of age at this point.
So really, I missed your
Yeah.
one party year,
Yeah. So
meaning 2 parties.
it
total.
really, it was like,
But they were pretty intense.
yeah.
A
And but
lot of alcohol.
the funny thing is, there was only like 7 people there.
7?
Yeah, it was just me, Matthew, Andy, like
Liz.
Liz.
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't like, wow. Yeah.
I cleaned the mess up out of the shed. I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, these kids.
These kids,
Gosh.
partiers.
Get it together.
Yeah,
They're
You're like-
doomed.
she's like, another girl for my boy. That's not good.
God. Hannah.
My drinking problem, alcoholic here. Been sober now 15 years.
Proud of you.
Yeah. Okay. Enough about this. Is gonna go horrible. People are gonna be like, "Dang, Hannah." It's all good. So
And let's start. I'm a pastor's wife.
yeah, Reverend Janie over here.
Yes.
She's okay. So let's get into this. So you had Matthew young.
Oh, yes.
Young.
I had Andy.
Yep. You had Andy, Matthew, and then Brian.
Brian.
Back.
Yes.
Do you mind to share your age?
No, I do not.
Okay.
I was just turned 16 with Andy,
Mhm.
17 with Matt,
Yep.
and 19 with Brian.
Yep.
Wow.
And so,
Yeah, it was.
so one may ask.
Do I?
So one may ask.
Oh,
you know.
yeah. Why?
Yeah. You have one at 16. You're like, I'm not doing this again.
I'm not doing
Yeah.
it. I don't know.
Was it something that?
I always wanted kids.
Yeah.
As far as identity,
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to be a mom. Did I plan it to be like that? No.
Sure, yeah.
I was young and dumb and didn't listen to anyone. But I always say they probably saved my life because I was
You do
not
say
with
that.
the good people.
Mhm.
I never drank or anything, but it was like you never know where you would have headed.
I
But
I get that. Yeah, I
it
was the same
just,
way.
They kept me home.
Yeah.
And I knew that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a mom.
And you learn responsibility pretty quick.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Yes.
you pretty much did all that by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As far as being like supportive.
Their
of the-
dad was present,
Mhm.
but
not
yes.
present.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So having kids that young, was there a time that, was there ever a time where you're just like, what am I gonna do? Like, how is this gonna,
No.
you didn't question
No.
it.
No.
Hmm.
Not ever like
Yeah.
that. It was just I was in the moment. I, was focused on raising my babies and
Yeah.
did what I had to do to raise them.
Was postpartum depression a thing that people talked about? Because you're not to
No.
say you're not old, but
I feel it.
well,
feel it.
everyone says that.
Well, you've retained your youthful glow.
Yes,
Thank you.
but I'm wondering, because times are different.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I don't remember people talking about it. They may, but I didn't go through that. I
Okay.
had like wonderful pregnancies. I love being pregnant.
Okay.
And after having my baby, now I will say it wasn't easy.
Right.
Being young
Mm-hmm.
and my mom's telling me, she's like, you had them, you raised them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Did you finish high school?
I did,
Mhm.
but not at that time. I
But
did,
eventually.
yeah, I did go back and got my diploma probably 20 years ago.
Really?
Oh, that's awesome.
So, but at that time, no.
No. Well, that's odd. Well, here's the thing about that to me is people will often do one or two things, push through and do it somehow or not at all.
Yeah.
And for you to be like, you know what? Like, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's really cool because, I mean, it's something that you could have just not done. I mean, honestly,
That's
definitely
true.
if it had just been.
I can't imagine that, though.
Yeah.
It's just like a mother's heart. I mean, after you had Elias, it's just you change.
Yeah.
You focus on your child
Mm-hmm.
and wanting the best, and you just forget about yourself
Yeah.
and your dreams at that moment.
Yeah.
So,
A short break here. When I had Elias, Janie came in the room. She goes, "Oh, you don't look too good."
I was worried about Hannah. She had went through something very traumatic.
Yeah, she almost died, but it's fine.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't even know who she was. I don't think I was like,
I was really worried.
Kelly
about
was like,
you.
"We gotta get out of here."
I was really worried about you.
Well, we're here.
But
He
you had a
turns-
beautiful baby.
Turns 6 next week.
I
you know?
cannot believe that.
I know. I know. Sorry, just had to
Sweet
interrupt there.
boy.
Ugh.
Yeah. All right, so you
did
raised.
great, though.
I think I
raised
came in the
these-
room and I didn't even say anything to you. I was just like, "Oh, your baby."
Yeah, no.
Oh, first thing I saw was her face.
Yeah. I don't think anyone understood what had happened in the room unless you were there when it happened.
Right.
Like, you were there when it happened, Mom, my dad, Jay, like, these people. And then afterwards, after, like, a couple hours, I was able to, like, be
Process.
coherent, you know, and be like, okay, this is happening. But, yeah, it was...
You had no blood left in your body.
I had no blood left in my body. It was crazy.
I was really worried.
It's terrifying.
I couldn't even focus on Elias. I mean, even though I saw him
Yeah.
and was just so in love, and Matthew was tending to Elias, I focused on you because of just,
Because you looked
Yeah.
like crap.
yeah.
All right, it's not about me. So you have these 3 kids.
Have 3 kids.
You're
yes.
17 with 3 kids.
19.
Oh, 19. I'm sorry. 19 with the 3 kids.
Give me some credit.
I'm sorry. 19 with the 3, but they're what? At that point, newborn 1 and 2.
3
Yeah.
3 under 3.
3 under 3.
3 under 3.
Yeah. And you work 2 jobs.
Yes. But that was later on. They were probably 4 or 5
Mm-hmm.
in that area when I started working 2 jobs.
Okay. Yeah.
And then Mom and Dad was always
Yes.
great support.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I'd do without them.
Yeah.
But you just do what you got to do.
Do what you gotta do,
Mhm.
right? So tell me about. So you guys have these babies. You go through life. Life is life, right? And then at what point? Now you have 6 or 5 boys. 5 boys.
Mhm.
We've named 3.
Mhm.
Okay. Now you have these 2 more. Two more.
Yeah.
You
When
have,
we married Kelly.
Yep.
Of course, I went through a divorce with a boy's
Yep.
dad. That was a challenge for the boys.
Mhm.
I mean, Matthew and Andy, more so really struggled with it.
why do you
But,
think that is?
Because they really loved their dad. They really loved spending time with him. He's not a bad person.
Right. Yeah.
I
I agree. I've met him.
He was just struggling at the time. We were young and dumb, and we had no idea what we were doing.
Yeah.
Just kids
Yeah.
doing dumb stuff. But
At what point did you realize I've got to take my boys away from this?
when their dad started drinking more, bringing people around the house that lifestyle,
Yeah.
and I never wanted that around my kids. I was the mom that wouldn't let anybody keep my kids overnight.
You
they
were
didn't-
psycho, son. No, I'm just kidding.
I really was. They probably thought I was. I was just that mother hen.
Yeah.
Wanted them
Mhm.
babies under my wings, but I knew things had to change.
Mhm.
We weren't happy for a long time, and we were just different people. So
Yeah.
I told him it was time to go.
Yeah. So
Then I met Kelly.
yes, we met Kelly.
Yes.
Which is
Probably a year.
a year after.
Maybe I can't even remember really.
Yeah.
Maybe 6 months. We were friends. Me and Kelly were friends, but he was dating someone else. So it was just, I know. Just that mother-in-law thing again. It wasn't anything romantic or anything like that at all. Till probably, I'm going to say 8 months, maybe. I don't know.
Something.
Anyway.
Yeah, so we meet Kelly, and I kind of want to go back to how did you process divorce with 3 kids, and then having to tend children, but also having to take care of yourself? Because I will say you don't really talk much about yourself.
No.
And I think it's uncomfortable for you. In a way.
Because I didn't take care of myself.
Ooh, that's a good line.
I didn't. Well, I mean, this is the truth.
Yeah.
My children were my focus.
Yeah.
I knew that I had to support them. And that's what I did.
That was it.
How do you take care of yourself? Where is the time? Where's the mental space for that? And I still think that I don't. I think it's just one of those things. I want to give.
You're a caregiver.
And give
yeah.
and give, but I don't know how to receive or just stop and take care of myself.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that looks like.
Yeah, I think good.
Oh, is that something you wish you did better, or at this point are you just like it works?
It is what it is. You know, I don't, like I said, I don't think about it.
Yeah.
I don't even know what taking care of myself would have looked like at that moment because you have these little boys, there's school, there's bills, 2 jobs, you know, where's the time? So.
Yeah. I think that is, so now that you are who you are now, which is still a caregiver.
Yes.
Which is very much someone who wants to take care of people.
Yes.
But you're very involved in the church. Like you said, you're now Kelly and you have your own church. Kelly is the pastor of church. You do a lot of pastoring, you do a lot of everything. And let's just say, you know, pastor's wives do not get enough credit for what they do and what they go through. But do you think that looking back, you wish that you would have been able to see, kind of like Adrienne's question, but the health benefit of taking care of yourself? Do you think it would have been different? Because I know that you've gone through some really downs.
Yeah.
You know, and so your question of how do we do that? If you were talking to me or your son, and they said, "Mom, how do I just take time for myself?" What would you say?
That's a hard question because I don't know. You just have to stop. You know, and I guess that's what I would tell Matt, is you just have to stop. With all the busyness around you, you just need to stop.
Yeah.
And just really embrace the people around you. That's just me, but that's caretaking to me, is caretaking to you.
Yeah.
Or,
no, I hear you. But I do love what you say about, because a lot of times we live in this world of taking care of ourselves is all about us, right? And it's kind of like an oxymoron type of thing, because taking care of ourselves is just literally can be stopping and listening to, my belief is listening to the Lord, listening to where he wants us to go, what he wants us to do, for his plan and not for ours. And a lot of times we're so busy trying to make our own plans and being like, I feel bad right now. This avenue will make me feel better. And then you go down it and it's like, this didn't make me feel better. Let me backtrack. Let me go to this one. And we get so busy. And then all of a sudden you either burn out and you stop completely, but that stop is not rest.
Dangerous.
That's not rest. True rest is not burnout.
That's right.
Period. Or we just continue and then we don't see what God's trying to do for us, you know?
We're just surviving.
Right. Yeah, you're in a survival mode. And so I think you have more wisdom there than I think you might know, because your simple answer of just stopping is profound.
Well, that's my favorite scripture is the be still and just know.
Yeah.
Know who I am. Of course, believing in the Lord, I spend a lot of time in prayer. In my relationship with the Lord, that's where my peace is. So I just don't know what else.
Isn't it hard to explain?
Yes,
It's hard to explain.
Yes. And struggling, I wanted to tell you, being in the church all my life.
Yeah. All my life I've been faithful. Okay, sorry.
All my life.
I think it's you have been faithful.
Yeah.
Lord, I've been faithful all my life.
You should know. Sorry, good.
That's okay. That's where I struggled. I never struggled being a mom. I never struggled working and supporting them. I struggled knowing my place in the church.
Yeah.
And how crazy is that? Being in my whole life. But once Kelly became pastor, I didn't know what to do.
Yeah,
Like,
you did
where's
struggle.
my role?
Yeah.
It's better now, but I still,
Sure.
it's like, where's my role? Where do I belong?
Yeah.
What do I say?
Yeah.
You know, who can I talk to? Because you can't
That's
trust everybody.
right.
I don't care, church or not church.
Yeah.
So
I just think, honestly, I think we're not equipped for it well.
true.
Whether it's, how literally, and also knowing that your place isn't in the church, your place is in your identity in Jesus, right?
Exactly.
And so once you can figure out your identity in Jesus and what he has lined up for you to do, I think that's when you find your place in the church. Big C. I think that's what we have to do is look at church nowadays, not as little C and the building down the road and where do I fit in? And if I don't fit in, it must be me and I suck. I'm not faithful enough, blah, blah, blah. But our place is simply with Jesus.
Exactly.
Our place is simply to be with Jesus. And so if we can get that in our thick skulls and learn to live that way, I think we will find our place because we're already in what he wants us to be. And that's with him,
That's
right?
true. But the enemy comes to steal that because we're so busy. Our eyes are taken off what God has for us and just makes us busy.
And also you
with
feel
things.
Powerless.
Yes,
Oh,
you do.
Gosh,
you
I've
do.
been feeling that lately. It sucks.
You
Well, I
better
was
be
gonna-
still.
Yeah. I was going to ask, you say you were struggling to find your place in the church. Is that because you think you were taking on too much responsibility or you weren't delegating responsibilities or...
I'm a terrible delegator.
Oh. Are you the kind of
Terrible.
person you'll just do everything yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I struggled with what I was supposed to do. It's like I know Kelly pastors, Kelly leads, but what is my job? And you hear, well, you're the helpmate. You're there to support him and you're there to support the church. How? I wanted to.
That's very ambiguous.
Needed an outline of exactly what I needed to do and what I was expected to do. But of course, I've come so far from that. But being titled the pastor's wife was very uncomfortable for me. I don't like titles to begin with.
Yeah.
But I was just Janie.
Well, I think I think honestly that's what you be, and
Yes.
it's not trying
I know
to
that
fit
now.
in. Right, it's not trying to fit into this mold of
Yes.
like pastor's wife, like or whatever the real title is, right?
Yes.
And,
I'm just a person,
right?
just like
Exactly,
you.
and you love well, and you like that's I think
Yes.
that's it, and
Just bring joy.
yeah,
I think that's, at this moment, that's what I feel like God is telling me to do, is just show people joy. The joy of the Lord is not just sitting and laughing all the time.
Right.
It's just knowing who I am in Christ.
yeah. I've been praying a lot about that myself.
Yeah, you need to.
Thank you.
Yes, I've noticed, yes. Work on that.
It's just where your deliverance is. I believe that.
Yeah.
With all my heart. And that's what I really believe that God is using me for right now. I'm not a good teacher. I'm not.
That's okay. We have strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, yeah.
We have teachers. Like,
I think
you can
you
be
know.
someone else.
But you teach people just through your example, I think. You may not
I
teach
hope
sermons,
so.
I think.
Yeah, because I just wonder when I talk. A little ADHD there. But, and I don't say the right words when I minister. I mean, maybe that sounds dumb,
No, it doesn't.
but it's just like, some of the words maybe I shouldn't use in church, but it's not bad words.
Yeah,
But
right.
it's like people, it's like,
Yeah.
like
I think that's refreshing.
Yeah.
maybe,
I think we
but
want
it's
real.
raw.
Yeah, exactly. I don't
It's not
want,
always pretty.
And I don't want a polished person who
Yeah.
cleans themselves up once a week to talk to people. You know, I want to know that I'm in good company. I want to know that
Yes.
people also struggle. And when it comes to you talking about your identity in Christ, I know you've been through a lot of crap in your life, a lot. And have you ever struggled with finding your identity in Christ?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
After we adopted our final child,
Yeah.
and Matthew probably will remember this, we were heavily into church. I mean, of course, John was a drug baby.
Which John's an adopted son of hers.
Yes, he was our final child. Many, many mental issues. And it literally turned our house into hell. That's one of them words. But when I say it was extreme, it was extreme. A lot of people thought we were just being dramatic. No, it was.
If
very
anything,
extreme.
under.
Yes, probably. Yeah, we wanted to hide it
Yeah.
as much as possible. But at the time, John become aggressive, and we would wake up being punched in the face. We would wake up with him pulling everything out of the fridge, pouring things in the floor.
And he's a big dude, right? Like he's
At
tall
that time,
and-
yeah, now he is, yes. At that time, he was probably 4. And that's when things really started coming out with John.
And you adopted him as a baby?
Yes,
Okay.
we had him when he was 2 weeks old.
Wow.
We didn't adopt him until he was almost 2. And regardless the issues that come about, we still loved him.
Oh yeah, of
He's
course.
still our child.
But
we
but
just
were you
weren't
aware
prepared.
that he was you weren't told that he was drug baby, right?
We knew
I hate
he
that
was.
term. I wish I could use something else.
I know. He was born addicted
Yeah.
to many drugs. He was everything that could be stacked up against him.
Oh
was.
yeah. But you had no clue of that.
We knew he was a drug baby,
Right.
But we didn't know the
The
details
future of that. Okay.
We didn't know, like the brain scans, there was white brain matter. We didn't know that for years. There were things that was left out of that. I hope not. Oh my gosh. So walking into that, just having great kids, my children and Micah were great. I mean, just we never really had any issues with them. They were healthy, no behavior issues. And then here's John, who is
And kind of it
Just-
seems
just-
like overnight.
yes,
Like
yes.
but not overnight, but like I have heard they at certain points at certain ages, all of a sudden it manifests,
Manifests,
and it's just like 0 to 100 really quickly.
Yeah, and having people to listen to you
Yeah.
was hard
Yeah.
at that time. I lost my voice. We would go doctor after doctor, and I would say, something's not right.
Yeah.
My child is busting out windows at 4 years old. He's, very extreme. He couldn't touch a wet cup. That was one of the things that would send him off. And he would just be very violent.
Yeah.
There was a time where we were leaving the doctors and them telling me I was the problem. That doctor was telling me I was a little extreme and
Yeah.
that I was being exaggerating on his behaviors. But so anyway,
Did you struggle at all with like I'm sure you struggle with anger.
Yeah.
But were
I'm not
you
an angry person.
No, that's
But
I'm
frustration.
sure it was just, I mean, frustrating to be a
Yes.
mom and know your child is
Yes.
something's wrong.
Can't be in daycare.
Yeah.
Everything just started spiraling at that time. And I'm sure Matthew could tell you.
How did that affect your other, like as far as your parenting goes with the other children? Was it difficult?
I have a lot of regrets because all my focus began to be on John.
Sure.
And I felt like I lost a lot of who they were. Like I had other children, but I was in survival mode with John, and they were too.
Oh yeah, right. Well, you were protecting not only John but your family.
Yes,
right. Yeah.
and others around us. I mean, there was times where we lived next to a market, and going to the bathroom to have 2 seconds. He got out the door, went to the market, started trashing the market, and that was just a lot. But my children were put on the back burner, and that's a big regret. But in the family, sometimes there's a weaker link, and that's who we have
I
to.
know it.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, Craig. No.
I know.
That's like,
Poor Craig.
I'm sorry.
And that's who you've got to be strong for.
Yeah.
And we just did what we had to do.
Yeah. No, and I hope, I think it's definitely human to feel what you feel. I would feel that.
Wasn't
I think,
easy.
but I also think, man, you didn't really have a choice.
No, there was no choice.
There was, and I think that you have sons that maybe have some hurts and things that you guys have talked about, but I think at the end of the day they realize that, and they always realize that mom's in my corner. I truly believe that. Being married to one of your boys, I
hope they believe
one
that.
of the things that really attracted me to Matthew is how he treated you.
Oh.
I always
Love my boys.
I paid attention to that, you guys get in your little arguments, whatever. But like love is there, and no matter what's been done, no matter what's been said, and that was something that was really big for me, is how he treated family.
Matthew has such a big heart.
Yeah, he does, and he takes out. That's from you, Matthew and I having one child. One of the things he said, and when we were talking about kids, we were like, we went like 3 to 5.
Yeah.
Like we thought, because he big family. And we were like, when we landed on 3 for sure, 3. We had the one, and I remember Matthew very vividly came to me and he said, I just cannot imagine splitting my time between any more. And I said, I get that. I think when you have more, it just kind of happens naturally. Like, this love happens, and
of course,
but I get it. I understood where his position on that. And I say all that to say is like, I can't imagine being in your position of having multiple children, but having one that is just difficult and not his fault. And it's heartbreaking to watch. I mean, I love John. Yeah, John has a very kind soul.
He does. Misses his family a lot.
And he got dealt cards that I don't understand. It's one of those God questions of like, why do kids go through this, but I'm glad he landed with you.
I am too. There was a reason for that, and I believe that, and I always tell people I have grown more and John has taught me so much more than I could have ever taught him. I was the person, you go into Walmart and there's a kid screaming in the aisle and you're like, somebody need to pick that child up and tear them up. But that was quickly judging that situation. Where now that I had that child where
you don't know what's going on.
No.
And they look quote unquote normal.
Yes.
Physically.
Yes, but just tearing the store up and, looking like they are not being parented at all. that changed my thought process with people around me because we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going on. But I
So-
became very angry after John went to residential, his first residential, which residential is for children to stay in-house for treatments, and most of the time it's for autism.
Yeah.
And John was diagnosed.
Okay, I was
with
just going to say,
autism.
so his diagnosis is autism. Okay.
Many diagnoses, but the autism diagnosis got us many places for residential.
Right.
So when I was so ignorant to the process, I thought when they said John's got to be put in residential for treatment because we were out of options.
Yeah.
He couldn't stay in school. I lost my job because of it. So I thought they would let me go with him. He was 4.5 years old. And I'm like, can I just be with him? Y'all don't know what his nighttime schedule is. Y'all don't know. I was that ignorant, but after we dropped him off and had to leave him, I was so angry.
I'm sure.
God, why can't you heal my child?
Mm-hmm.
Why did you put him through this? Then I struggled with myself. What could I have done more? And I was angry even for what I've put my other children through, and not being educated. The system is so broken.
Yeah.
That it's not easy. And you're already living hell at home, and nobody's believing you.
And these are people that, like you and Kelly, truly, you adopted children to help, to love
Yes,
children that had no
yes.
place. And it's wild to me, like you said, how broken the system
So broken.
can be.
So broken. Especially for the mental health. It breaks my heart to see people overlook how serious the mental health community really is right now.
Yeah.
It just breaks my heart. Even from being a child to John, and now John is 19.
And still in residential care.
He is,
Which he was in
he's
and out.
actually not in residential now. He's actually in a psych hospital
Okay, right now, okay.
because he's an adult.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Okay.
And it's in the state of Tennessee, it's illegal to institutionalize an adult. So he is inpatient right now, receiving services.
Until that runs out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
and,
what? It's...
Yeah.
It's one fire
yeah.
to another fire. We went through group homes, which we've gone through 2 or 3 since January. And in that time, in the last group home, John got an assault charge.
Yep.
Because, once again, the staff did not believe me when I was trying to prepare them for John. They didn't believe how John would be when he got upset.
This is wild. Listen to this.
I've got my
Which
headphones.
part?
listening.
I mean, it just
Well,
gets so intense.
So John got an assault charge because he got out of the home, and they are literally looking to put John in jail.
Yeah, we have to, the whole process now, which, learning again, with John being in extreme mental illness and having no clue how serious this is.
Yeah.
And I don't even know, I wasn't there, I can only tell what I was told. He threw a rock and hit an underage child, which I'm more upset with the staff because you are the one responsible taking care of my child. Why are there bystanders? Why are they standing out here being in the middle of fire? Well, anyway, so he did. The mother demanded to press charges on John. And we will have to take John, and he will be booked for this charge.
Mm.
And he has no clue.
Yeah.
No clue.
Mm.
And that's just like, that's the answer?
Right.
That is the answer.
It's
How to
bigger.
deal
Is
with-
that going to help?
Mhm.
It's not
right.
about it.
It's bigger than John. It's this whole system that I wish we had more answers for. I wish I could be like, here's the answer.
Yeah.
Let's fix it.
Yeah. It's not that easy.
I hope one day it is fixed. I hope one day something happens. I don't know, but this is like people. We're talking about human beings that just need help, and we don't have the resources to help them. We don't have the hands. We don't have, and then when we do have the hands, they're not equipped enough to do it. And it's just, it seems like, I can only imagine, it seems so helpless for you. But I will tell you, there is no one, but you advocate, man, for John, and
But is it enough?
it's everything you have.
I mean,
I know it can seem that way, but when you have a mama in your corner, it is,
you still have.
There's nothing but, honestly,
nothing.
nothing I'd trust more.
Yeah.
Than a mom.
Well, it's just sometimes it's not enough though.
Yeah.
It's not.
Mm-hmm.
Just like before this hospitalization, John was in another hospital. Their answer was, okay, he's being discharged. Nothing else we can do.
Yeah.
And I was like, but we're still working on a group home because he can't come home.
Yeah.
We are not able to, we're not prepared to take on him now. Yeah, he's bigger than Kelly. He's probably 225.
Yeah, big boy.
Probably 6
When he was
foot.
9, it took 4 male adults to hold him down
Yeah.
at times. Like,
No,
seriously. Like,
yeah.
I was with her one time where we were at the hospital, and something had happened. We tried to hold him down, and he spit in my face and like kicked you.
Yeah.
All that.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. But like it's not like a.
It's pretty intense.
It's pretty intense.
Yes.
But
A lot
listen,
of people's gotten hurt.
I hate to cut you off, but we do have to land. I want to know something. For anyone listening that might have the same position you're in, maybe it's not as bad, maybe it's worse, maybe it's,
I'm sure
you know what
there's-
I'm saying?
yeah.
There's a huge spectrum, yeah, I mean, of,
Really?
yeah, like of positions that people are in
Yeah.
with the mental health, whether maybe it's not autism, maybe it's something else, right? What would you say to parents in particular to help them just have some sort of, is there anything you could say, right? Is there,
Just,
what has helped
I
you, I
don't
guess, the most?
that's hard. Just, you're not alone.
Mm.
There's people out there that, are walking through
Yeah.
the same storms. And it does seem lonely. It doesn't seem like there are answers, but, with my Christian walk, just give it to God.
Yeah.
Lay it down. We can't carry this. We're not built to carry these stresses.
Mm.
And we just have to trust that God is still working.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't see how it's going to end, but, we know that God is for us.
Mm.
He's not against us. And we just keep praying for John and all the others. We know there's others.
Yeah.
We've crossed many paths, but
Yeah.
we just support each other. And
Exactly, and that is one
encourage.
thing. We talk about the broken system. For how broken the system is, there is a tremendous amount of other people that are walking
Yes,
beside you and want to
yes.
help.
A huge community of people
Yeah, and
that are broken themselves.
we may not know. That's a loud plane.
That
It
is
is
really
loud.
loud. Is it but a crash into us?
But we may not be able to tell you the big answer you're looking
No.
for. But man, we can be with you.
Yeah,
And
we
that-
can encourage. I think a lot of the parents, especially parents, don't have enough encouragement. Hey, you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
You know what? It's people just need to hear that sometimes.
Yeah.
when you're tired. And
Yeah. Hey,
just
you're
know
doing a
what
great job.
Oh, thank you.
I do.
Thank
I
you.
believe it. I'm thankful for you.
I am so thankful for you. Love my family.
I know, me too. I'm very thankful they came on to talk to me, to talk to Adrienne and I, and just to tell us a little bit about your story. And
Yeah.
man, we
Such
just,
a-
we,
it's okay though. It's okay.
you know, it's hard to keep us all.
It's fun.
It was fun. Yeah, it was. All right, I love you.
I love you too.
All right, Adrienne,
Love you guys.
love you.
We out.
We out.
Peace.